It is a just true pleasure to have you on the road to rock here. Welcome to the show, man. Busy summer for you, which is a good thing. How's everything been
Yep.
going so far, brother?
It's going really good. It's going really good. We've been playing a lot of festivals, playing a lot of shows, it's ramping up again. It's ramping up again. New music, ATBPO, everything happening.
It's tremendous, and for a lot of us, such a wonderful release and what music is. And I think that Night Ranger embodies that so much. In fact, so much so that the new album ATBPO and the band played on, as I understand, and I think that's symbolic to what us as fans link, to you guys. The band played on. We're ready for the return of live music, and you guys are just the band to bring it back to us. Thank you, sir.
I'm telling you, we're playing shows, and I'm not sure who's more excited, the audience or the band. We're up there just like, this is great, we're playing. You don't realize how much you miss it until you don't have it going with you. You know what I mean?
That is so true. A lifestyle for fans, for you guys. It's been all encompassing, and you guys had kind of a different show in Sturgis earlier this week, playing with Gilby Clarke stepping in for Carrie Kelly, who's out with a little knee surgery. What was that like playing with Gilby, and how did he wind up kind of being the guy to fill in there for that?
Well, actually, Gilby's great. Gilby's I've done a Kings of Chaos show with him. That there's this thing that Matt Storm has. It's called Kings of Chaos, and has a lot of guest artists in. And so I've done that with Gilby. And Gilby's such a great guy. So I'm sitting there. We were going to do it 4-piece because Carrie has knee surgery and had to go in and have knee surgery. So I'm in my hotel room on Monday. And all of a sudden I'm looking down my phone. It's like Gilby Clarke. I'm like, damn, hey, what's up, Gilby? And he said, yeah, a couple of buddies of mine and I, we just drove our bikes. We just got in today. We drove our bikes like 3 days from LA. It's like, 500 miles a day to come to Sturgis. And so we thought we'd come to your show tonight. And I go, actually, how about you're playing our show tonight? And he's like, what? He goes, so he came up and he'd done like Don't Tell Me You Love Me and Rockin' America and a couple other songs, High Enough and Sister Crit, stuff like that. And so he knew the songs. So he came backstage earlier, got together with Brad. We worked everything out. And so he came up and played the last 3 songs with us. It was great.
Oh, you got to love rock and roll. I saw some of those clips. It was tremendous. Is there a different vibe about playing Sturgis? I mean, I know you've been there before. It's crazy. There's a bunch of different campgrounds and environments, and it's a lot of awesome stuff going on in Sturgis. What's the vibe like there? Is it different than other shows? Like I've never been during the rally. I need to make that happen one of these days.
Yeah, Sturgis is its own animal. You know what I mean? And Sturgis at the motorcycle rally, it becomes its own country.
Yeah, literally.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
its own city, it's its own county, it's its own country, it's its own world, man. And it's just this great fun time. Everybody's enjoying it. I mean, nothing's crazy. Nobody's getting done, but it's just fun. Everybody has a fun time. But the greatest part for the bands is we're, at the Buffalo Chip, and it's the big 15,000 seater, and there's probably 15,000 people there on Monday night. And they let the motorcycles in the back. They keep all the people like sort of up front, thousands of people up front, and then they let the motorcycles drive in and park in the back. And if they dig the song, they rev their bikes. They turn on their bikes and rev their bikes. And I'm telling you, when we were playing, there was about 6 or 7 songs where it was deafening. The revving of the bike, it was tricking. It's the likes of which you've never heard or seen or felt before. It's the most unbelievable. We're on stage and we're drowned out. The bikes are so freaking loud that we're sitting up there and we just stop. We just stand there and just in awe of the whole thing. And the audience is, cheering, and the bikes are revving, and it's its own world, man. You got to go check it out. It's pretty crazy.
It is a true bastion of Americana, and we celebrate that. We celebrate all this. We celebrate the return to rock. And, for many, Night Ranger kind of became a moniker for people to discuss, people like me that are freedom loving, concert going. I love to travel. I love to be out there. I love this country, and I love to be out there experiencing it. You can still rock in America. And it is true. Night Ranger sort of encapsulates that. What is it about this band, this music? It endears to this day. I saw you guys at the State Fair in Missouri a couple years ago with Foreigner, tremendous show. And there's something about it. You leave feeling good. Every song from Night Ranger, people know, they sing every word. it's got to be a tremendous feeling after all these years that music still endears to audiences like it does.
Yeah. I mean, we're pretty blessed the fact that there's so many songs are sort of in the collective consciousness of everybody. And I think it's a tribute to America. And I think it's a tribute to the longevity of a good song. You know what I mean? I mean, there's good songs that just carry on forever. And that's what Night Ranger's always focused on, like trying to come up with a great song, you know what I mean? And make sure that there's a good song there before we have anything else. And so I think that with Night Ranger, that carries through, and it carries through onto the stage and people singing along. And it just, here we are almost 40 years later, and we're still out, rocking and rolling. I mean, dude, we feel like like our song on our new album, ATBPO, I'm a lucky man. You know what I mean? We feel like we're the luckiest guys on the planet because we get to go out and rock and roll, and we get to go out and hang out with a bunch of guys, our guys, our buddies that we've been, Kelly and Brad and I have been together for 40 something years. And with Kerry Kelly on guitar, and Eric Levy on keyboards have been around for the last 8 or 9, 10 years. So it's just this great vibe. We keep it fun. We keep it happening. We keep it, we change the set every night. We switch up songs. We do all that kind of stuff just to make it all work. You know what I mean? And have a great time. And I think that's what Night Ranger is all about. And I think people realize that when they come to a Night Ranger show.
That is absolutely so well said. I want to talk about the new album, ATBPO, and the band played on. I love this album. I think that there is a formula for Night Ranger and it works, and it is great straight ahead rock anthems that just hit your soul. I sense though a little anger in your voice on some of these songs. Breakout, for instance, there's some anger there. There's almost a vibe of like, let's go, let's get this out here. We're tired of sitting around for a year and a half, no music. Did you kind of come at this in a different way, the way you approach this because of how long it had been?
Yeah, some of the songs, you can't help it when you're a writer, you're a songwriter, and you can't help the fact of letting what's going around in the world, it just sort of seeps into you. And even though you try to pretend, try to make, you don't think it does, but it really does. I mean, Brad came up with the music for that. He came up with this like 7-minute opus of all this great music on the song Breakout. Had no lyrics or melody or anything like that. And so he sent it to Kelly and me, and he sent it, and I, and so I was listening to the chorus, the big guitar riff, that almost like "Don't Tell Me You Love Me," and I'm like, this is great, but you can't, I can't. It's the licks got a lot of action going on in it. There's got to be one thing. So one morning I just walk in, and I'm just thinking about, God, we got to get back into the world. We got to get back into the, and I just walked in. I was hearing the track, and I yelled, "Break out!"
There it is.
Come on, little sister, break out! You know what I mean? It's like, your life, and I just started screaming, and I just said, that sounds good. And I kind of recorded it, and it's not like angry. It's just like, it's aggressive. That's for sure. And so I was like, I just sang it, and now I'm like, now it's a curse because like every night now we're playing that song, and I gotta like, come on, little sister, break. I'm like, I'm like, what have I done? You know what I mean?
Well, the reception on the album has been fantastic. It's been out just over a week now. When you guys drop a new album and you have a chance to kind of have it marinate for a week or two, what's the reception kind of been like on your guys' end? Do you hear from fans? Do you hear from people? What's the reception been like? Because Frontiers to me does the best job of any record label out there of kind of linking the band to fans, putting out the content, and here we are. What's been the reception so far?
It's been really positive. I mean, Dave Amato, the guitarist for REO Speedwagon, called me up after he saw the video and goes, "Jackie, I can't believe it's like, what do you like? You're singing. I've never heard you sing like that before. It's unbelievable. This track is so rocking. It's unbelievable. It's amazing." I mean, it's great that other musicians are digging it too. You know what I mean? As well as the fans, the audience, and everything like that. Look, man, you make a record, and you hope that people pick up on the way you feel when you pour your heart and soul out into a record. You know what I mean? Which is basically what we do. I mean, you're getting a glimpse into the closest a glimpse into a person's soul as you can when they write a song and they lay it out there for you. And so for a lot of people, everybody's, coming on board and saying, "Hey man, this is great stuff. This is really rocking." I mean, we get, the few odd, dudes, like there's a dude in England somewhere that said it's very underwhelming, and there's all these effects on the vocal, which, by the way, there's no effects on the vocal. I pulled off reverbs, I pulled off everything. All that is me going through a microphone, through a mic pre and a 1176, a compressor. That's it. You know what I mean? And so, you just can't, the majority of the people have just really, really enjoyed it. So I like that, and you can't please everybody all the time.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the internet if you didn't have a few negative reviews on anything creative anyone ever did. So glad that all's right in the world there. I got to ask you about Revolution Saints, Jack, because I'm such a huge fan of what you guys did, especially with the latest album, Rise, which came out back in 2020. Dean Castronovo, amazing guy. He a dead ringer for Frank Grillo, the actor. They've never been seen together in the same room. And then you've got Doug Aldrich, one of the great guitarists in rock. He's in every band that's ever existed. I love what you guys do as a trio. It's been, over a year since Rise came out. Just how fun was that? I think that was one of the top 5 rock albums of 2020, man. That was a great album. And kind of what's the future hold for you guys?
Well, there's talk of another one. We'll have to see what happens. Dean just got back into Journey, so I don't know. He's gonna be pretty busy. He's gonna be pretty busy for the next few months and all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna have to see what happens and see what's going on. But I mean, I've known Dean since he was like 16 years old. I've known Dean since he was in this band called the Wild Dogs, which is out of Portland, Oregon, which is this speed metal band. You know what I mean? And it was just like that, and so we've known him for forever, and he's such a great guy, and I've been through the ups and the downs with him, and of course, when everybody was like, crucifying Dean for his indiscretions and his drug addictions and everything like that, and they were, and all that kind of stuff. I was still talking to him all the time and everything. In fact, when Kelly had his heart surgery, I was right in the middle of all that stuff. And I said, Dean, come on out on stage. Like, you come on out and play with us. So he came out and did some shows with us, which really, a lot of people were, like, oh, okay. Hey, man, people, you got to forgive, if guys genuinely are remorseful of everything that happened and what, when there's drugs and alcohol involved, what the hell, what are you going to say? I'm telling you, bad shit happens anyway. So, but Dean is just great. I love Dean, and Doug Aldrich is amazing guitarist. Doug Aldrich is just like, forget it. I've been fortunate to play with some of the greatest guitarists. I mean, Ted Nugent, Brad Gillis, Jeff Watson, Kerry Kelly, Tommy Shaw, Tak Matsumoto from the group Bees, the big Japanese group that I did an album, TMG, with, Eric Martin, myself, and Tak. Tak's an amazing guitarist. I mean, Neil Sean's a dear, dear friend of mine. So I played with, and Doug is right there with everyone. He's just a great, great guitarist, and they're great guys. So that's the fun thing. At this stage of the game, I just want to be around people that I love hanging out with and I like a lot and all that kind of stuff, that are great people. I don't want to be around any assholes.
That's exactly. It's funny. That's a perfect transition to my next question, which is kind of the dynamic between.
How many assholes do you need? How many assholes do you know? Right? If you don't want to be with assholes, then why are you hanging out with me right now?
We don't have near that kind of time, Jack. But the fact that you and Kelly and Brad and this beautiful thing that's happened for so long, and you get into the point where so many bands from your era, they have only a couple of original members left, and it's understandable because people change, the business changes people. But how important is it at this stage of your life, at your age, that you're around people that genuinely make you happy, that genuinely there's chemistry there, and that it's easy to get along with? That to me is a huge part of the battle when it comes to music, and it must be more important with age, I would think.
It's what happens is you just, all we want to do is, like, I'm talking to like our friends about touring. Like, we're going to tour with Sammy Hagar next year. It's like, Sam's a great, great friend of mine. I mean, at what's going on right now, I just soon tour with all our friends. I just tour with the guys in Journey, with the guys in Cheap Trick, the guys in, Sammy, Sammy Hagar, all those guys, the guys in REO, the guys in Styx. I mean, Tommy came out on stage. We played with Styx about a couple of weeks ago in Ohio, and Tommy came out on stage and we did High Enough on
awesome.
Which the audience loved, you know what I mean? So that's where it's at for me. And as long as it's fun, I'm going to keep doing it. when it stops being fun, I'm going to tell everybody, oh, there you go, buddy. I'm just going to just hang out or something. But right now it's just way too much fun.
Yeah, it is. And that's what I was alluding to earlier with how just fun. That's the word that I think about when I think about a Night Ranger show. We know about you and the history of you, Kelly, Brad. It is absolutely fortuitous, but Kerry Kelly's a guy, he's been in the band for a while. I don't know if you're a sports fan, Jack. The only problem I have with Kerry is he's a Raiders fan, and sometimes he doesn't mind showing that on his guitar. And we just can't have that. We can't have.
No, wait a minute. Brad's the big Raider fan.
Oh, do we have two?
Brad is like over the top. It's Brad. Yeah, you got those confused.
No, I know. Kerry's a Raiders fan too. I know he is. I've seen him.
Well, yeah. I mean, now he's in Las Vegas. Now he's a Raiders fan. Yeah.
Well, is that it?
Because Kerry has two pubs and he has two craft beer places, Aces and Ales in Las Vegas. But both those guys are like big Raiders fans.
Well,
hey, we're Bay Area. What do you expect? Our band came from the Bay Area. What do you expect, man? I mean,
does that mean at least you're a Niners fan, Jack? Who do you cheer for?
Look, I'm a big Niners fan. I live up near Seattle now on an island north of Seattle, and I get in a lot of trouble here because I'm still a big Niners fan, and the Seahawks and Niners are like oil and water. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when the games are going on, all the people are around and I'm like cheering for the Niners, and everybody's like giving me dirty looks and shit.
Yeah, funny. Nice rivalry. It's funny because Eric Martin, also a big Niners fan, and we talked to him right after the Chiefs. I'm in Kansas City, huge Chiefs fan after the Chiefs beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl last year, and so he's still kind of bitter at me about that, and hopefully that doesn't exist between you and I as well. But it's all good now. Jack? You talked about touring with Sammy. That was a tour last year that I was maybe most disappointed when I looked at my tour schedule and everything goes cancel. You guys had that on the docket for last year, I believe, with Sammy Hagar, and I was so looking forward to that. Great that you're thinking about picking that up. What is 2022 kind of looking like in a perfect world for Night Ranger?
Well, that's what it is. We're probably going to go out with Sam and for a good 2-3 month tour. Then we're going to do our own shows. We're going to keep going and going and going. I mean, it's business. I mean, the business is ramping up. I mean, this fall we've got like tons and tons and tons of shows. I just happen to have this week off to be able to talk about the new album and get everything going with that. But I mean, it's like we're running on all 8 cylinders, baby. Starting the end of this month. It's like go, 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 go.
Well, it absolutely is. And we can't thank you enough. Before we let you go, I got to ask you about the 2 videos you've done so far for the album, Breakout, of course, and Bring It All Home to Me. Those are just tremendous. How important are videos and the visuals today? Music has changed so much. We know how important YouTube is and the visuals, and Frontiers again does a great job with this because so many other artists put out awesome and very well great production on these videos. How important are these videos for you, and could we see more as the time goes on for this album?
Videos are always a good tool to let people know that you're still alive and well. You know what I mean? You're still kicking. And I think these videos really show that Night Ranger is still kicking heavily. And so we're happy with them. We're great. We went out in the Salton Sea, which is down by in Southern California, down by Palm Springs, Palm Desert. And we filmed it in this most desolate area that was, it was just fun. We just had fun again. We took a tour bus down there and did the whole thing and all that kind of stuff. But what's nice is that, there's going to be some more stuff released this fall from Night Ranger. I mean, maybe even some new music too. So there might be some stuff that we might have tricked you guys and maybe not put on this record. You'll have to wait and see in the fall. But
wow,
we got a lot of things in store for you. So don't you worry about that. Night Ranger's around and we're here to stay.
Hey, paging Blabbermouth, we got a headline for you right here. Blabbermouth, right here. Jack Blades, it's always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much for taking the time today. Can't wait to see you out there on the road in 2021, 2022, off into the stratosphere. You guys are the best, man. Stay safe, stay healthy, my friend, and we'll see you around soon.
Thank you. And we just want everybody to check out ATBPO, man, the new album. And the band played on because it's Night Ranger at our finest. So check it out.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jack.
See you. Take care. Bye-bye.